test in the bedroom to catch my husband's mom snooping. My mother-in-law moved in with us about a month ago. I began to notice my stuff in the bedroom being touched, furniture rearranged, stuff moved, etc., etc. I felt like I was going crazy because my husband is the only one who has access to the bedroom, and he doesn't usually touch nor come near my things. I figured it must be his mother walking in and snooping on my personal life. I told my husband and he said his mom would never do that. I had a hunch but could not install a camera in the bedroom to catch her in the act. I got me one of those fake positive pregnancy tests and threw it in bedroom's trash can. Now the trash can was placed in the corner near the closet. Literally the next day after I got off work, I got tons of calls and texts from my in-laws congratulating me for my pregnancy. My husband came over to my workplace and was all worked up about it, asking since when was I pregnant, and why didn't I tell him. I asked how he found out, and he said his mom found the positive test in the trash can in the bedroom. I asked if his answer just confirmed that she's been snooping in the bedroom all along. He had a realization moment, but demanded we stick to the bigger issue. I said there was no bigger issue because the positive test was fake, and this whole thing was done to expose my mother-in-law's snooping. He was not convinced. He had me take an actual test right in front of him, and he was livid, asking me how I could lie about such a thing and break his mom's heart, since I know very well that she longs for kids. I got a lot of shit because from his mom and family now calling me a liar and manipulator. Am I the asshole? She just wanted to be clear that her mother-in-law doesn't take anything. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna give my personal. I had a mother-in-law, or almost mother-in-law. I actually didn't marry this guy because of his mother. I was going to have Thanksgiving at my house with my parents and his father and his father's wife. His mother and stepfather didn't want to come. Not only did she remove all of my paintings, change out all of the furniture, my silverware, tell me I did not have the knowledge of how to set a table properly. She changed literally my entire house around and spent 2 weeks there, and I refused to go in the house. Now my fiance, oh, come on, you could learn something from her. I almost slapped him. So I get you. I understand where you're coming from, and no, nobody has a right to snoop in your stuff, especially your bedroom. So here are some of the comments. One person says, isn't your husband concerned his mother felt completely comfortable to snoop and report in what she found? Why isn't that part of the problem here? Exactly. And apparently no, because even after I explained, he still said I was in the wrong and the fake positive test was manipulative. this woman works out of the house now, and apparently her husband owned the home prior to her and he getting married. Now, am I the asshole for refusing to pay my husband for using a room in the house for my work from home job? I am a 32-year-old female. I began working from home 2 months ago. My husband bought the house we lived in before we got together. He calls it his property, which is fine by me. This house is small and only has 2 rooms, one of which used to be empty till I started using it as an office for my job. I want to stop right there. Girl, at least you have a job. You should be thankful for that. I was going fine with my job till he sat me down last night and said he is expecting 30% profit. Wow, from whatever I get from my job, since he provides the office for my work. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. This literally just, I get so mad because I've always worked from home. From whatever I get from my job, 30%. It's his home. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. So, I get from my job since he provides the office for my work. You're married, he doesn't provide you anything. You live there together. She was completely caught off guard, of course. She asked him if he was serious and he went out about it being his home and how he could be using this room for his own purpose since it's his property. Well, why in the hell did you not use it for something? Why was it empty? And tell your wife, not girlfriend, not roommate, wife, needed it for a job. That helps you pay your bills. I said no and called him unreasonable. Of course, this led to a blow-up. I yelled at him, saying he wouldn't get a penny, and he pitched a fit and accused me of taking full advantage. What? Even though there's no mortgage to be paid. I do all the chores in the house as well as share paid the bills in half. He got his family involved in this and they're split. His mom thinks I'm being difficult. That's 30% is not a huge amount. It's almost half your pay. What's she talking about? That this room is providing stability for my work from home. And so my husband should get some sort of benefits. You know what? In the library, you can go for free and work out of a room there. Wherever you are, I'm sure there's a library that has a soundproof room. You could work from there. When I was in law school, that's what I did. I would work anywhere but your house, I'll tell you that. Or here's a couple other things that people said. And also I'd be filing for divorce, so it wouldn't matter anyway. Alright, you're not the asshole, by the way. The first comment. Sometimes I wonder why people get married. He got a maid, free sex, and a roommate to split the bills. Sounds great for him. Oftentimes abusers, like OP's garbage husband, do not show their destructive nature until the jaws of marriage have clamped down on their spouse. Abuse isn't always screaming and yelling at the gate. Most of the time it creeps up like poisonous gas, slowly filling a room. Financial abuse is insidious. They trick you into moving in and make sure you stay just poor enough to not leave by turning you into a live-in ATM. obviously she has no support. I mean, what does your family think? That's what I want to know. What her family thinks. But she might not have any, and that maybe that's some of the problem. Because it seems like she's controlled by him and his family. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I think it's sad that she would have to pay 30% of her paycheck just to work in her own home when it was an empty room anyway. It's ridiculous. She's not a roommate, she's not a girlfriend. She is his wife. His wife. Okay, so he bought the house before, but without a prenup. Technically, it's her house. First, half her house. So, people, I mean, whatever money he made before is different, but the dwelling that they live in goes by different rules. Found totally outlandish. At the asphalt for wearing a maid's outfit, embarrassing my mother in front of her family. Okay, this girl is 16 years old. Her mother's probably in her 30s or whatever. My mother isn't exactly known for being a morning person. Our recent routine has been that I make breakfast and wake her up so she can have a good start to her day. While I understand that she has responsibilities of her own, looking after my 1-year-old brother, taking care of the house, it's hard on me to make breakfast and wake her up, especially when I'm trying to get myself up and ready for school in the morning. Lately, I've noticed an uptick in her stress levels, likely due to the Christmas get-together she's been planning for extended family. She often makes snide remarks when I wake her up in the morning or when I prepare her breakfast. This tastes like shit, she'll say. You don't make it right. I'll admit I'm not the best cook, but I try my best, and I think she should appreciate that. Her attitude can really get to me. So, as the date got closer, her mom, I guess, kept getting ridiculous in just taking her stress out on her. So she says, I purchased a Maid outfit online, watched several YouTube videos on how to perfect a French accent, and waited for the day of the family get-together. So the weekend rolls around, my family on my mom's side, aunts, uncles, cousins, etc., come over for the get-together. As everyone was gathered in the living room, I walked in wearing the Maid outfit, began speaking in a French accent. Good morning, madame. I hope you have had a pleasant night's rest. Would you like me to make you some breakfast? My mom, visibly embarrassed, told me to go change immediately. I knew that I'd made my point, and I went to my room, changed back into my regular clothes, and came back down. There were a few chuckles from the other family members, but other than that, everything was fine. But after my mom's family left, she completely blew up on me. She said I was embarrassing her in front of her family, and I had no right to do that. She said that she was the parent and that I should have respected her more. Now this girl says she understands where her mom's coming from, but let me tell you something. If this 16-year-old has to wake up a 30-year-old or 40-year-old woman to get up because she can't get up herself, and then not only she's not getting up herself, but she's actually telling her that her food sucks and that she doesn't do it right, then I mean she should be getting up herself, period. What is she expecting her daughter to do? That's ridiculous. I mean, this poor 16-year-old girl, I mean, maybe the maid's outfit was to get her point across. I get that, and maybe it was a little too much, but I think her mom had no right to say, well, You should respect me. I'm the adult. Well, if you're the damn adult, you need to get up. Make your own breakfast. Make my breakfast and my brother's. I don't know. So here she's taking the blame that she was the asshole. I don't know. I think that maybe it went a little bit too far, but you know what? Maybe your mom needed a slap in the face. Here's not the asshole. Just like I said, she's likely in her 30s and 40s. She's making her 16-year-old make her breakfast and wake her up, insults her. Just because she is your parent does not mean you owe her any respect if she treats you poorly. You didn't ask her to give birth to you. She did that. She can't act like a snarky, dependent, ungrateful teenager and then use the I'm the parent in an argument. She doesn't have a leg to stand on. I agree. It could have been a lot worse. Trust me, I've heard a lot worse. Just because she was wearing a maid's outfit, the family seemed to find it funny, so maybe they know. I'm sure they know her daughter, their cousin, their niece, whatever, pretty well. And maybe know that she's irresponsible and that she's not a morning person. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I find these to be quite fascinating. That there's even people out there who would expect their child to make breakfast for them, wake them up, and then berate them on their cooking. What? I don't know. Am I the asshole for buying? Listen to this one. My cousin's daughter ate $4,000 gift for Christmas and ended up spending more on her than her mother. Am I the asshole for not checking with her mother first? Okay. For one, there is no 14-year-old in this world. I don't care if you're Jeff Bezos or anybody else who's a billionaire, right? You do not need to buy a 14-year-old a $4,000 gift. A cousin, $14,000 gift for Christmas. This lady goes on to say, I happen to marry into a family with an insane amount of money. Okay, well, it doesn't matter how much money I have. There are boundaries. That's what I think personally. I mean, people disagree with me in this, so more than they know what to do with them. Quite honestly, I spent approximately $15,000 per child for my 3 children for Christmas, which I am immensely grateful to be able to spend on them. I also donated the same amount to a charity for each child's choice as well. Alright, well, she's gonna write that $45,000 off at the end of the year on her taxes, so it's negated. That's basically, that's what she just tells us right there. My mom's side has a rule that we only get each other Christmas gifts if we will be seeing each other that year on Christmas. My mother hosted this year and about 10 of my cousins and their children are coming. I bought each of my cousins' children something unique, not really thinking about the price, but more what I think they would like. My cousin, who's 35-year-old male, has a 14-year-old daughter. She is a result of a one-night stand, and most of us in the family have only met her once, and maybe twice. My daughter is also 14. 2 parts of her Christmas gifts were a Cartier love ring and a Yves Saint Laurent purse. I bought the same for my cousin's daughter, and they are very close, and I thought she'd really like it. I guess then her cousin's daughter totally split on this. Yeah, it's fine. Just don't think that the child should suffer. I mean, whatever the mother thinks is whatever the mother thinks, but the child is suffering really the consequences of the mother's anger. I'm sure it goes above and beyond this post. I'm sure that the mother, obviously pissed, feels very insecure or whatever, that she couldn't afford the same for her daughter, yada yada yada. I don't know. It's hard to say, I wouldn't buy, if I had $100 billion, I wouldn't spend that much money on my child for Christmas. I don't think that is healthy. Phone, computer, whatever, that's fine, but Yves Saint Laurent first, is it really something she's going to appreciate the value, or would she be happier with a more, Yves Saint Laurent is more of a older person's purse, I think. I don't know, that just, maybe just the ring, I don't know. What do you think? I'm really curious, because in this post there are people that are on the side of the woman who spent all the money, and then on the side of the mother, and that thinks that she should not have spent the money even though she has it. So, this one's actually pretty funny. Am I the asshole for using flashcards to get my point across that there's no children allowed at my wedding, even my brother and wife's rainbow miracle baby? So my fiance, female, and I'm male, are getting married. We have decided weddings going to be child-free. Children, it's just more organized, less complicated, and I tend to agree. I worked a wedding, no children, it's more complicated. Especially when they get hungry, and then they get cranky because they're tired. Well, my brother Chris, male, and his wife have a 3-year-old son who everyone calls Miracle or Rainbow Baby. He came after several failed pregnancies that lasted for years. When they found out that my nephew was included in the no children rule, they tried to convince me to make an exception for him. Chris told me his son is a miracle baby, and his presence at the wedding will bring blessings for me and my fiance. I refused and said no. The wedding is child-free. His wife kept sending my fiance's pics of my nephew when he was months old. What does that mean? She asked. I told him no, to stop. My brother told me this might cause a rift in our relationship. Again, I said no and explained that the wedding would be child-free. He asked again and pointed out how his baby is different since he is a rainbow baby. Okay, honestly, I've never heard of a rainbow baby. We should just stop right here. Or a miracle baby. I understand all children are miracles. I don't. Just because she could not keep the child, maybe she was too thin or wasn't eating the right stuff. Who knows? There could be 100 reasons why. It doesn't mean he's better than anybody else's kid. I'm just gonna say that. So they brought it up when they visited at my home, and I knew they were not going to stop. So she made flashcards in advance with the phrase, "The wedding is child-free, period." She pulls them out and started slowly showing them the flashcards one by one. In this order: circle cross outside, period with a huge black dot sticker. They were both stunned. I asked if they get it now, and Chris lost his shit. His wife had already grabbed her stuff and walked out. Chris called me an asshole for doing this and said that I disrespected him, his wife, and their miracle son. He rushed out after we argued. My fiance saw the whole thing and thought that it was funny, but my parents and Chris are livid beyond measure. They're telling everyone about the amount of disrespect and mockery I had displayed towards them, and I'm being told to fix it now. Alright, well. I think sometimes people don't understand that they are not the only people in the entire world who have children, and that other people, other than themselves, have problems getting pregnant, and that every child is a miracle, no matter what. Not their special rainbow baby. That to me is like saying, oh, my baby's better than yours. How is that possible? That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. I know some people are going to disagree with me, but all children are miracles, not just theirs. And if they decided to have a child-free wedding, because it's their wedding and not her brother's wedding, then that means her brother cannot bring his child to the wedding, no matter what. What is, for one, what is there going to be for him to do? There's not going to be any other kids there. So he's going to be, running around in everybody's business. I don't get it. I really don't. It's just crazy to me that people even think this way. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. I just think that she had to make her point. She obviously got her point across. And let's see what people have to say. Oh, only miracle allowed at my wedding is that you two are still invited. Is it one person would have said? Should have told him that all babies are miracles, but that you're having a miracle-free wedding. You're right. Time to break out the throwaways. This is hilarious. I just snorted, laughed, and woke my sleeping miracle dog up. Oof. This is so funny. Maybe one miracle is something about water turning to wine. That is actually funny. I was gonna go to the route of, if you're going to continue acting like a child, your invitation is revoked. I said child-free. I meant child-free. I don't. Everyone's laughing. I don't think anybody agrees with the brother. Honestly, I think that this person should show her brother this and her family. I mean, then this other person said, and I do agree with this, let them know that they were being disrespectful by continuing to try to twist your arm and change your wedding after they had already made their appeal and been turned down. This wedding is not about them. Exactly. And they do not have to pull their toddler in the spotlight as the only kid there. Exactly. Alright, I didn't know what a rainbow baby was. nothing to do with her kid. It has to do with them. Alright, am I the asshole for taking an Uber to a wedding so I wouldn't be late? Alright, this woman flies into town. She initially tells her parents she does not want to stay with them. She makes it very clear, but they are into it. So she's stuck staying with them. Well, then, apparently her parents that are very capable of taking care of themselves are late to everything. So she says, my sister got married last weekend. I flew into town, and my parents insisted that I stay with them instead of a hotel like I wanted. My parents are consistently late for everything. I think it's a Latin thing. I hate being late. I think it's disrespectful. I do as well. The wedding was at 2:30. My folks live about half an hour from the church. Noon rolls around and my folks aren't even getting ready yet. They're adults and I'm overdealing with them. I get ready, send for an Uber, and I'm at the church at 2 o'clock. Now here's where the really crappy part comes, I think. So, she gets to the church, right? I check in with my sister. She asked me if I had any problems getting my parents to the church. I told her that I came by myself. So she about freaked out and grabbed her pants, I guess that's what it said, that I was responsible for getting them there on time. Why isn't it their responsibility? They're adults. Nobody asked me to do that. I didn't even want to stay there. Now everyone starts calling my parents. They're still getting ready, but they were 35 minutes late to their daughter's wedding. The service had to be shortened because there was another wedding later that day. Everyone is still mad at me for not getting my parents there in time. What is up with these people? Like the codependency and the expectation on some of these people is ridiculous. Like, can people not take responsibility for themselves? I don't understand. Why does everybody have to be blamed? Like, why is it her responsibility and not her parents who are clearly adults and who are late to everything? Her sister should have said, we're starting with or without you. If you want to see me get married, you're going to be there in time, period. So my mom says oh God, this really makes me mad. My mom says it's my fault for not reminding them to get ready. Am I the only one who thinks adults should be able to be on time for their own kid's wedding? No, you're not. You're absolutely not the only person that thinks that. You're not the asshole. The fact that I mean, okay, if your sister thought it was going to be such a huge deal that you remind your parents and your mom too that they had to get ready for their own daughter's wedding, there's a problem. There really is. I mean, there is a problem with how your parents, this is what I think personally, feel about your sister marrying the person she's marrying. Because what parent would not be like an hour, 2 hours early freaking out with their kid? I mean, they're just gonna like mosey into the church 35 minutes late. What? I don't know. I meant any situation where parents would be late sounds like a chronic problem. Yes, I agree. Could there be other siblings? Oh, they were yelled at. People who are always late do not need to be enabled. I agree. Deflecting blame onto you is a particularly stupid way to enable them. So your aunt's response is honestly quite irritating. they've got some kind of larger issue, and this is what I said initially, going on either with the husband-to-be or their, I don't know, something else is, I don't know. There's a bigger issue there, that's what I think. I really do. And no, you're not the asshole. To me, reading these, I must have had 200 of them. And I was astonished to find out two completely normal things and are shame blamed for this, or expected to do things that they have clearly said no to everybody else, but I feel like this is like a narcissist kind of thing, that they feel entitled or better than anybody else for some reason. There's, I don't know, in a couple of these I just find like, matter of fact, in most of them I find that there's a lot of narcissism going on here, and entitlement. I don't know why, even with the parents, just not even giving a crap about their daughter's wedding, and enough to make sure they got to the church on time. Yes, the last one I have for tonight. Am I the asshole for ruining Christmas Eve for my ex-fiance? So my ex-fiance family, or my ex's family, were complaining that they could not see our son at Christmas because I was going to spend it with my family. They live fairly close to my parents. I decided to drop by on Christmas Eve so they could see my son. I did not check in advance to see if my ex and his fiance would be there, but unfortunately they were. So, of course, this blew up in her face, and her ex's fiance freaked out, asked her why she was even there, asked her to leave. She tried to explain I was only there so my ex's family could see my son, but she was screaming at me that I ruined everything and I was doing this on purpose. She left because I wouldn't. Alright, but here's the kicker, okay? The short of the story, why is it his fiance, hates me, is because our son was conceived while they were already in a relationship, which I was not aware of. Her ex-fiance, was cheating on her with this now current fiance, then came back to her and they had a baby when they got back together. Now, then she finds out that he was cheating on her and she leaves him. She's pregnant. So it's not Opie's fault. She wasn't the cheater. Because I know a lot of people ask this. I just want to clarify this. And somebody says this is the reason why custody agreements have clauses for holidays. Okay, I get that they have clauses for holidays, except that there's no clause for extra time, or if somebody's really upset that they can't see your child and you just want to stop by and say, have them say hi. Heck, why would it be such a problem that she was there? It's his ex. That's their son. That's his son. That's his son's right to see his family. Has nothing to do with his new fiance or the cheating part or any of that. Yes, maybe there was some intentional, but I don't think my son and drop him off, and she's just standing there getting screamed at, and the new fiance is making a huge deal, which is so silly. I don't know. I mean, you have to be flexible, you have to be reasonable when you have a child together. Now, what pisses me off is that when people make commitments and they don't see their child, that probably bothers me more than anything. When somebody is not committed and recording